Welcome to Old Mac Chronicles. Once again, we are back at you guys. 1865 here. We got man Schaefer in the house once again. What's up, Schaefer?
What's the word? What's the word? How's everybody doing?
I'm doing crappy, man. I just got injured again. How are
Ah,
you?
shit. I'm hanging in there. I'm recovering from most of my injuries. What's all this injury talk? What
don't
are
know,
we talking about? What are we talking about today?
Let's talk about injuries, man. I was sitting down. This was after Friday night. Gus says, Rod, you look sad. I'm like, I am sad, man. I'm injured.
Right?
So let's talk about that because like that is something that everybody can relate to, right? Getting injured in jiu-jitsu, it's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
It's not if, it's when it's gonna happen, right?
Unfortunately, yes, that is the case. It is a matter of when.
Yep.
Some people catch it within their first month or two right at white belt.
Yeah.
Others kind of dodge the bullet. Hell, I think everybody gets hurt at white belt at least a little bit.
I think everybody does.
Yeah, because
You're gonna get hurt.
because you're spazzing, you're scared, you're not sure if you're doing shit right. You're like, is this armbar actually going to make something pop? Should I tap now or do I let it go a little further? And then you go pop. Oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
I was supposed to tap. That happens.
But I think it's a myth though, where they do say that you get injured more at white belt. I don't know if that's true. I think you get hurt throughout your jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think it's throughout, dude. I tell you this, I know I caught a bunch of L's at purple belt. Purple belt fucked me up, like physically. I got jacked up. It was like I was the best at purple belt and physically like the worst at purple belt. It was crazy. Dude, yeah, I think I took a toe injury at purple belt.
That's weird.
I think it just fucked my whole big toe up, dude. It was a ridiculous.
At least you didn't say little toe. No.
Nah, I mean, I can just cut that shit off, man. But the big toe, I need that motherfucker for balance and to push me forward. Yo, it was jacked up. Damn, now I'm sitting here really thinking about it.
That actually happens if your school has the mats where they're
Ooh,
put
the
together.
separated
Yeah,
ones.
separated. It gets caught in that little thing.
Yeah, those puzzle mats.
Yeah, the puzzle mats. That's all bad if you get that.
Dude,
We have good mats at our school. We're lucky, man.
yeah, for sure. I remember dude got his finger de-sleeved. That was all bad.
That just sounds bad. De-sleeve.
Yeah, that was bad.
I'm just like trying to picture what you even mean by that. It just sounds.
Oh well, imagine your hand is a glove or a sleeve, and your ring got caught.
Oh.
And next thing you know, you're a fucking skeleton.
Oh, that's why you're not supposed to wear rings.
No, you shouldn't wear rings.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was just telling a young lady she needed to take her earrings out because I was like, look, I know it's your first day, blah blah blah. But nobody noticed it. She actually got through the day. But then when I explained to her why that it could get caught up in a gi, if you get caught in a guillotine or something like that, you pull your head. Next thing you know, it just tears your earlobe open. Man, I've seen some.
I'm trying to understand how the ring did that though. Like think about your ring is down
I can
here.
explain. I can totally explain.
Yeah, because your ring is down here.
Yes,
oh, it's supposed to be this way.
This was very very specific as
let me hear this.
our school. So over at Hassett's, we had a stage, right? So the whole entire floor is covered with mats. It's really nice. And then there's a stage so that you can come off the mat. You could go up onto the stage and chill. I believe it was like an old converted. I want to say it was an old. It might have been a church or some kind of big giant house that was converted. It's awesome. So this is on the second floor. And that stage, I guess, like any wooden structure, you're going to have some nails and stuff like that. And I don't know if something was just a little bit loose or what. Dude freaking hooked his ring. I think he hooked his ring finger on it. And it just pulled the meat off his finger. Yeah, all right.
Oh, it pulled it off this way.
Yeah, just like it caught it and just.
It caught the meat, just slice it off.
Well, it caught the ring.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sorry, yeah.
And the ring just said, okay, well, you're coming with me now. Yeah, it was ugly. Anyway.
That's all bad.
Man, nobody wants to see that.
Don't wear a ring.
Well, you should be wearing rings. Unless you get those cool,
Those
rubber
ones.
rings. Those are actually pretty cool. Yeah. I have one of those as well. I never wear it, though. I just don't wear rings when I'm fighting.
No accoutrements.
No accoutrement. Man. Hell, I used to rock my mouthpiece all the time though. That's when I was like super duper aggressive.
There you go.
Since I got old and laid back, and I was like, I just do it about 50 to 75% now. I keep in that range. No need for a mouthpiece.
That's where I definitely wear a mouthpiece, man. I do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Because I've seen multiple people get a
Lose
tooth knocked
tooth,
out.
yeah.
And it may not be your fault. It could be another guy. You just catch a knee, just a random thing.
Absolutely. Look, we catch random elbows and knees all the time.
You know how much it is to fix a tooth?
Yeah.
A front tooth getting knocked out, you're talking at least probably 5 G's.
Yeah, it can get up there. That's when you just get like a chiclet and just stick that shit up in there. Get a fucking little tic tac and shit. Put that motherfucker in there. You'll be all right. But I have seen dead teeth get knocked out.
Yeah.
Tongues get bitten into. Lips just
I
ripped
had a big
apart.
hole in my lip. It looked like a crater.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Damn.
That was all bad.
This shit is violent.
Yes.
But
Okay, so like,
wow, we went off on a tangent already because there's a lot of injuries.
what are the most common injuries?
All right,
Let's start with that.
There you go. The most common injuries, I think, are going to be your small joints, especially if you fight gi. I think that you'll get your fingers jacked up regularly.
Okay, wait, no. Now, is
ahead.
that an injury or is that more of like a long term, like 2 years later, my fingers are wrecked? I'm talking about an
I
injury
think that's
that takes you out.
okay. All right, you're speaking of an injury that
That
stops
takes
you.
like, oh man, I
immediately.
can't train for 2 months or whatever.
Oh damn! All right, well then we're I think going to start moving to is it head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I think we're going to go to. I think we're going to start with our elbows, shoulders,
Why you gotta say elbow?
neck.
That's
Yeah,
actually-
I know, dude. I know, man. You took a L on that one.
Man.
You definitely took a L on that one. It's like it wasn't as bad as your as the party when we.
Oh, that was worse.
Yeah, that was rough.
This
dude.
is not that bad, but it's you know what? If you can't train, it's still bad.
That sucks.
It's bad enough to where I can't train right now.
Yeah,
You know, and I try to
that's
train,
no
then I
fun.
re-injure it, then I'm out again. I come back. So that's well. I don't want to derail this. So let's
All right,
stick
all right,
with
fair.
that, but I
Well, I mean, but it is true. I mean, elbows, knees, shoulders, necks,
yeah.
ribs. Yeah, definitely because oh man, shout out to James. He got hit with a double leg the other day. He's fighting. James is he's around our age, right? So
Big James?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he got hit. Young boy wrestler. Wow.
I know you're talking about.
He stood up and he took that one. Like they were glued together. He took him from the penthouse to the basement and just BAM! So James took the hit, but being the tough motherfucker that he is, he kind of jumped up, jogged that shit off. And I was like, this motherfucker can't breathe.
I do remember
He
that.
was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
holy
yeah.
shit.
I thought he had a cramp.
No, yeah, he had a cramp, all right. Shit, a rib cramp.
All right, oh, man.
But I talked to him the next day. He's like, oh yeah, that shit hurt. And but he iced it up. He's doing good, and he's fine, dude.
But
That
man,
guy,
a
he's tough
bruised
as
rib
nails.
that takes a minute to heal, man. And I think that's
Definitely.
one of your longer healing. So let's try to add some like context.
Some
here.
context to it,
Yeah, so
okay.
we'll say, okay, you bruise your rib. We're not doctors, right?
I mean, I play one on TV.
But I'll tell you what, I've been training for many years, and I've had most of these injuries, so I can at least tell you like kind of what to expect. If you got a rib, you're gonna be out for a couple months, man. If it's a bad rib,
If it's a bad injury,
you'll be
yeah.
out
Like
for
if you gotta just kind of just got banged up a little bit, I mean, I think you'll be all right. I have seen my boy, my boy Mark. He got hit. He was out for a while, but I think it floated his shit. I think it might have broke his lower rib. And you want to talk about a tough motherfucker? This is that guy who I told you the very first person I ever rolled with in jiu-jitsu, the one who threw me through the wall. Yeah, it was this guy. So,
watch episode. number 12.
yeah, right. So he, I think he was a black belt. Yeah, he was definitely a black belt at the time when he got hurt. And I don't know, we roll like a bunch of psychopaths back in the day, and yeah, dude. And even like I said, we were just mean. New Jersey people are mean. I don't know. So something happened. He hit that rib, and dude, he might as well got shot because it just stopped him. It was done. He couldn't move, and we're like, oh crap. It was bad, and he was out for several months.
I don't know why they take so long to heal. It's not because it's weird because they're not really moving, right?
Well, yeah,
I can see
it
your arm
moves.
would-
Well, but everything's
it's
connected.
floating, it's kinda floating.
Everything's connected. Hell, just taking a deep breath was hurting him.
Yeah, that does
and that
hurt.
was rough. Like just the expansion of the lungs pushed out against that rib.
But if you think about it, let's say you get armbarred and you hyperextend your arm.
Yeah.
That's a movable joint, right? So
For
you can
sure.
See, like you have to do this throughout the day, unless you're in a sling.
Which you
So
should
I can
be.
see why it would take longer to heal, but the rib is not necessarily. It's not movable to that degree.
Well, but if you
it takes so
turn,
long.
every time you turn, your muscle is gonna push against your rib. Like I said, he was
Whatever
breathing.
reason, they take a long time to heal.
Yeah, just
So your
breathing
ribs are all
was
bad.
giving him the business.
What's the next common one?
Well, actually, hell, let's look at the elbow. Well, did we start with elbow, or
No,
where are we going?
We just said that.
All right, we started with ribs, though, right? All right, so that's the rib. I think an elbow is primarily the first thing to get hurt on people
Yeah.
because one of the first things we really focus in on are arm bars,
Arm bars.
kimuras, and Americanas.
Yeah.
So we're looking at several different ways to attack the elbow joint.
Yeah.
And just drilling enough can be a pain in the ass, man. Like, I've seen, just over and over and over the repetitive moves from just drilling arm bars.
That could hurt your elbow.
And that shit hurts, especially because, they're not trying to, but every now and again, they'll lift that hip up a little bit too much. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, and you tweak it. And it gets tweaked enough times, and shit, that tweak turns to a tear. And then you're walking home, and you're like, damn. Can't even wipe my own ass today. It's like, it's ridiculous. That's why I got a bidet. So, but man, the elbow, I think, is the first one. Now,
what about healing time? They heal pretty okay. They're not that bad. They heal pretty quick.
it can be, but you know what happens? I think it heals quickly to the point where you think you're
feel
good.
That's what happened to me.
Where you're good enough to go do something.
Yeah.
And if it's not hit again, you'll be fine. But then you recognize how weak that shit is as soon as something gets twisted or if you push too hard or pull too hard. Man, I mean, my elbows, both of them have just been wrecked. I remember my boy Chino, shout out to him. He, I think, was a blue belt at the time. I might have been a purple. I had to be a purple, few stripes in there. And I'm like, oh, man, this guy, he's good. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Caught me up. I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna let this blue belt freaking catch me in no Americana. Let me slip out of it, hit him with the old razzle dazzle. Yeah, that shit didn't work. All I heard was crack, crack.
That's rough, dude.
And I was like, ooh.
But now you're talking shoulder now, right?
Yeah, no, well, it blew my elbow out. Americana. I mean, it can hit both, but it just happened to be the elbow just popped, dude, like a balloon. And I was screwed. I was stuck for like a good month or so. Like I still trained, which is stupid because I didn't let it heal. So it probably took a lot longer to actually heal.
We're our own worst enemies
We
sometimes.
are, man.
And now shoulder is rough. Do you hit your shoulder? That's a very complicated joint because it moves in so many different directions. It takes a long time to heal. I've hurt my shoulder, I want to say, not that, maybe like 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Both shoulders. And I'm not talking about the AC. That's different. I don't
Yeah,
consider that shoulder.
that was more like
That's an AC joint, though.
yeah, but I know what you're talking
I'm
about.
talking
That
about
was
the shoulder
crazy.
itself.
I've never taken a shoulder.
Oh, yeah, I've had a shoulder injury, and I've had to roll with one hand, but I'm telling you, man, a shoulder, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You fall to that side, like, because you can't stop it, because you got your
Right.
arm tucked in. So, I don't know.
Oh, my
Shoulders
God.
take months to heal. They're a tough one.
So with the shoulder, what do you suggest then? I mean, do they sling it up? Do they just not roll? Do you just drill? So anytime I think your upper body gets immobilized due to injury, unless it's the neck, would be you work on things like guard retention. You just you if you're going to drill something, right? If you're going to drill something, you're putting the feet in the hips. You're moving. You're like you're hooking legs. You're doing a lot of things with your lower body. Get your legs
Stay
good.
active.
Yeah, stay active.
Keep
like
active.
you can do those. What is it? Not the Gambi roll, whatever the hell that thing is, where you're kind of like twisting yourself around, but just using your
sidewinders?
feet. Yeah. But then you kind of still got to roll up
gotta
on
roll
your shoulder on
yeah.
that. So yeah, I mean, just
just
work
do what
some
you
half
can.
guard stuff. Work your Z guard or whatever it is they call it these days. I don't know.
Z guard.
Yeah, all that. But yeah, that's your shoulders, man. Those can. I guess that
Shoulders
would be
rough,
pretty
man.
jacked up. We say head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So I got one. I mean, we say common. So all right, I'll get to the neck last.
Yeah, 'cause that's not common.
Yeah, that's
Common's going to be like,
back in the day. The neck was
maybe it
common
was,
because,
yeah.
especially back when you used to be able to do freaking can openers on people
yeah,
and
we did
shit.
can openers,
Yeah,
yeah.
I used to freaking can opener people, man. And they used to
yeah,
can
there's always
opener me.
wrestlers that were trying to kill him.
Hell yeah, that was gangster. That shit was rough. I mean, my instructor was a wrestler first.
They were like, man, if you got can opener, like, why'd you let a wrestler can opener you, bro? Like, why'd you let him get his hands
because
on it?
we're talking 20-something years ago. Nobody knew what the fuck was
didn't know
going
what it was
on.
like.
You know what I mean?
I thought he was hugging me.
Yeah, I thought it was a real
it was
aggressive
reaching for a
hug.
hug.
It was a really aggressive hug. Knees.
Knees are all bad.
Yeah, especially with
That's no joke there.
once heel hooks got super popular, man, thanks Eddie Bravo. Thanks 10th Planet. I mean, people's knees started getting wrecked, dude. Like straight up knee bars, okay. Knee bar was like an arm bar. It's like it was just a normal thing. It wasn't crazy. I mean, hell,
A knee bar is like a hyperextension.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it'll jack
That's
you up.
okay.
I'd rather have that than
I would
ligament.
100% rather get knee barred really badly than heel
Yeah,
hooked really
knee bars
badly.
are safe. That's why I don't know why you can't knee bar until you're, what is it? Technically
Brown belt.
That's ridiculous.
Hey, man.
A knee is a strong joint. I mean, and like how many guys really get hyperextended to the point where like, oh, my knee's out. Like you're gonna tap way before that.
Rarely. Yeah.
But I mean, the thing about knee bars, they don't hurt that much, right? Until they start really cranking into it.
Yeah, until it busts.
Then they start hurting.
But then that's what like heel
That's
hooks.
on you.
Heel hooks are really
Heel
like
hooks
that.
are dangerous because they don't necessarily hurt right out of the gate.
Absolutely.
Stretch, pop, and then it hurts.
Oh man, that's so terrible.
Those are all bad.
So with the heel hooks, and I know a lot of people, a lot of schools will not teach that stuff until they're well into their time. We're talking like sometimes blue belt or above.
No, sometimes no, technically it's
Technically it should be a
belt.
brown belt. Yeah, but
That's
I mean,
kinda crazy though.
But it's usually no gi. So no gi, they usually will say intermediate to expert.
Intermediate to
And that's usually about 2 years. I think
Yeah.
they usually count that as about 2 years for the intermediate.
So like it seems like they should get on board. Like it should be blue belt and above.
Yeah,
It should be,
right.
like if you go to like a 10th Planet school, you're right out of the gate day one.
Oh
you're showing
yeah.
heel hooks.
Oh yeah, you're doing heel hooks and
Everybody's walking out
you're
limping.
doing the zombie to some other cool
Yeah.
fancy shit. We gotta get Randy back on so he can give us
yeah.
all the terminology
names,
and the
we gotta learn
names and
names.
shit. Yeah.
But I imagine if you came up in that environment, it wouldn't be. I mean, you're going to learn an element of control.
Absolutely.
Too, so I don't have a problem with it. I'm all for it.
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with any kind of leg locks or any of that stuff,
Yeah.
provided you just keep it within the context of where you're at. If you go to a school and if you're visiting and you're a
yeah,
blue
that's
belt,
different. That's different.
don't fucking hit a brown belt who's rolling with you with a knee bar. Don't hit him with a twisting foot lock. Don't do those things because technically you're not allowed, right? And if you're not allowed, right? Well, twisting foot lock, toe
New
hold,
Jersey.
yeah, okay,
That's New Jersey.
yeah, that's definitely
That's
New
like
Jersey,
it's a leg bar.
right?
You guys from Australia, get your leg bar.
Yeah, get a leg bar. So, yes, make sure that if you're going to do that as a lower belt, then you're supposed to be, allowed to do those moves. Then just give the guy the heads up because that'll be kind of fucked up. You're sitting here, he's rolling and he's not defending or thinking about it because he's like, all right, well, this guy's a blue belt. I'm not going to knee bar him. I'm not going to hit him with a twisting foot lock. So I don't expect that shit to happen either because it's off limits. And then he does a move that he normally wouldn't do. He sticks a foot out there. You grab his shit and rip it off. And it's like, oh, I didn't know we couldn't do that. Nah, that's bullshit. So
I've had that happen to me several
yeah, me
times.
too.
I mean,
And
I've
that's
had white belts try to heel hook me in the gi.
Right, and
I'm
that's
like,
how we
are
get
you
injured.
serious, dude? Like, and I'm like not even really thinking. You're not even thinking to defend it because it's like that is a straight up non.
you're not allowed to do it.
No, it's a no. Don't.
Even though I saw a video, I'll have to show it to you. It's got Helio in the gi, heel hooking a blue belt.
I think isn't there some competition where you can?
Dude, this was fucking forever ago.
I could be wrong. I mean,
But I'm saying
put in the comments
I got a
if there is.
video of
I think there's-
Helio heel hooking one of his
Really?
grandkids. I think
That's all bad.
Yeah,
But this is grandkid. He can deal with it.
exactly. But he was a blue belt at the time, so that's a way to get injured. Is you're not defending enough because
You're not defending enough,
You're
yeah.
not worried about it because they shouldn't be doing
It's
it.
illegal, yeah. Because
Right.
I try not, honestly, like when I do the gi, I try to really not do a whole lot of leg locks in general. Like I save my leg locks for no gi. It's a better venue for it.
If
right?
you're not a brown belt, I won't knee bar you. I won't hit you with a twisting foot lock. I won't hit you with anything that's above your level unless
Yeah.
you expressly consent.
Yeah, because the gi
I
is
mean,
tradition.
I want written consent.
Yeah, the gi is tradition, so you should
Correct.
kind of go by those
Correct.
those rules.
Just like I don't wrist lock white belts. That's why.
You teach white belts wrist lock.
I teach them, but I mean, I don't do them. If we're rolling, I will not wrist lock a white belt. It just won't happen. Won't happen.
What if you just got your blue belt? Literally, that's
Oh, that day,
then
dude.
you're wrist lock.
Oh, I was wrist locking the shit out of all the new people that just got promoted.
All the blue belts.
All the blue belts. I didn't give a shit how old they were. You're like, I'm still a little baby. I'm only 16. Ah! I want to hear it. You a blue belt.
Welcome to adulthood.
Welcome to adulthood. Shit. So, the knees, right?
These are ankles are not
Ankles,
that bad.
not terrible. I mean,
not that bad.
I got my Achilles busted up a couple of times.
Yeah, like you know what? Would be, like a steamer lock would really that would take a while. That's gonna put
Yeah.
you off for a minute. But most like if you had a leg lock bad enough, to where you like, yeah, it could be all bad if it's a really, really
Well-
aggressive leg lock. But I'm saying for the most part, leg locks are fairly safe. If a
Yes.
straight, simple leg lock, you're gonna
Straight
tap.
ankle
You're
lock.
gonna tap from the pain. It would probably have to hurt so bad before it broke. You'd have to be like just stubborn, like I ain't tapping, I'm gonna die.
Well, that's pretty much what I did, and he who shall not be named is the one who did it to me,
nameless one.
and he had me in a walking boot for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but you didn't tap.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was my fault. I mean, hell, that's the other thing, right? I mean, let's be realistic here. Most of your injuries that you will get, they're your fault. I mean, just if you go, why do I keep getting hurt? Turn around, look in a fucking mirror, point at that jackass who's in the mirror, and go, oh, you're the cause of most of my injuries. Yeah. And that honestly is the truth. Usually, if you get hurt, it's because you did some stupid shit. You didn't tap. You went too aggressively. Shout out to my boy, I'm not going to say his name either, who I feel terrible because he just hurt his knee rolling with me, but it was his fault. I had clamped down in a half guard. He did some fancy ass John Wick move, but his leg was still stuck in my half guard. He got hurt. I still felt terrible. I felt terrible.
It happens sometimes.
It does. I can think of another time I blew my right elbow out, and it was the dumbest shit, right? The guy's passing my guard. I reach up. I put the palm of my hand right on his hip. His hip dipped in. My elbow felt like it just dislocated and pushed down. Yeah, and palm up. His hip was in my elbow. I was trying to push him away. Dude, now that injury.
Oh, that's all.
That injury
You wrist locked
persists. No, it wasn't a wrist lock. I blew my elbow out.
Oh, hit the elbow?
Yeah. When he dropped down, my elbow dropped out of socket, fully freaking dislocated, came back out, and it is still fucked up right now. We're talking that shit was like 10 years, 10, 11 years ago, some shit like that. It was, dude, it was, that shit was.
That's an event.
It was, I think it might have been before my kid was born. Man, I've been fucked up for a long time. And it was my fault because one of the first things John used to always tell us about when we're doing this freaking, we're shrimping out or whatever, you don't put your hand up like that.
Yeah,
you don't place that hand on the hip where it can dip down or your shit will get fucked up. So guess what happened? I did it. My shit got fucked up. Dude, I couldn't lift my arm for months. I was tying I was a brown belt, I think. I was a brown belt. So I would take one belt and, be my regular belt. I'd kind of get that thing tied on, and then I'd have somebody help me tie my arm to my waist.
Oh, you did one of those? Yeah, I did that too.
And I fought for months like that.
Yeah, it seems like forever. I've been. I think we've all been there.
Dude,
you're rolling.
It was terrible. Like I would if I could kind of throw my hand up to where it sits on top of my head, but then I could not lift my hand back off my head. I had to go like this.
See, like if it's that bad, honestly, I would just I'd bail out for a minute, let it heal up a little bit.
I'm stupid like that, dude.
That's how it is. Like right now, I'm just not gonna train for a minute.
I feel you. No, look, no knock against you whatsoever. That shit's smart.
Mats aren't going anywhere, dude.
Hell no, they're not, dude. But
I feel if you're like maybe you're coming up, you're a blue belt, whatever, white belt, blue belt, you're trying to stay on your grind. Yeah, you work around it.
For sure. I mean, that's the other thing, right? Like I can't tell somebody to not show up because they're injured. That is definitely personal. I mean, shit.
You will get sucked into doing more than you expected.
Yes.
You're either gonna. I'll just watch. Next thing you know, you're drilling
because you're naturally used to using that hand or that leg to do something, and if you get put in a position that you're accustomed to, you're going to push off with it. You're going to grab with it. You're going to do something with it that you shouldn't have done, and in doing so, you're going to re-injure it. You're just going to make the healing process take that much longer. It sucks.
If you go there to watch, you'll end up drilling. If you go there to drill, you end up flowing. If you go there to flow, you end up rolling.
Hell yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Absolutely. Let me see. Back injury? I've never had one.
I've never had a back injury.
Never had a back one.
Jiu-jitsu fixed my back.
Oh, see, there you go. It's like a chiropractor.
You know what's funny? Like, I used to throw my back out. This is before I trained BJJ. I would throw my back out once a year. I don't know why. But I'd be in a fetal position for almost 5 days. This is no joke, dude.
Damn.
I'd be fetaled up, bro. I couldn't even move. I think it's from some weightlifting
right.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Ever since I started training jiu-jitsu, never went back in. perfect.
Nah, so I
It's
don't
been
know. I've
13,
never.
13 something years, man. I'm good. I have not had that happen to me in all this
Nah,
time.
I'll say I've never had the back injury. I mean, I used to,
So-
in the army, I walk around with a big old rucksack and machine gun and shit. So that maybe that helped. So my back is strong. I got a strong back. But then the one that got me, holy shit.
The neck.
The one that got me, dude. I was rolling and damn, dude, I got caught in like a Kesekatami, right?
Yeah.
So it was Brandon. So,
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Brandon.
yeah, dude.
Big Brandon?
Yeah, dude. So he and I were going at it. Nicest guy in the world,
cool,
but
dude.
he is a
beast
monster. So we're going at it. Boom, 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 boom. He passes the guard. He gets to that freaking position, and I'm like, ooh. I'm like, okay, I am actually about to lose here. I should tap. All right. I'm like, nah, fuck that. Fuck that. I ain't tapping. I'm getting out of this shit. And he's just applying pressure. He's just doing his damn thing.
Was he saying like stupid
No.
things?
Well,
He would like pass my guy.
yeah, he always whispers in your ear or some bullshit.
Let it
Yeah.
happen. It's so terrible.
Well, in this particular instance, no. I mean, look, when we go, we used to go pretty hard. So he got me. He's sitting in. He's kind of pulling the head forward, and I'm like, all right, I'm about to make my move. I try to get out, and I was like, oh shit, tap. And he's like, yeah, I broke my fucking neck. So I was like, well, all right, this isn't good. So
It's pretty cavalier.
yeah. So luckily it wasn't like, well, I didn't die, obviously. So and I'm not crippled. So it wasn't that kind of neck break. What it turned out to be was he broke a piece of the bone off in my neck. So then I was going to one of our chiropractors, who was another guy who trains with us, Steven. Shout out to him. He hooked me up, dude.
man.
So he worked with me for months, dude, months. And like, I was just like in a neck brace, and I had this thing hooked to my head where it was like pulling my head up, trying to stretch the neck and get things done. Crazy. And all this was right before I broke my neck, and then within that first few weeks after, I got a letter saying, hey, your academy date is this date. I had to start the freaking academy for corrections. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, all right, well, I've got about 4 months to get this shit together. And dude, I went through the academy with a freaking chipped ass bone in my neck. I couldn't turn my head to the left for the entirety of the
You're wearing
academy.
the old Batman costume.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. I was like stuck in here. I
you
had
turn
to turn like this to do anything. And I am the knight. Hell yeah.
What about the? Here's another one, like the hip. I've been very lucky. I have good hips, man. They're not.
Yeah,
They don't
never
give me any
had a-
problems.
never
I
had a
think
hip.
that maybe some people are predisposed to that, and then
Could be.
with a lot of jujitsu, it could exacerbate it.
For sure.
After many years, you might have to.
And yeah, you're right. Like,
'Cause I haven't had any hip injuries, man. I've been
especially those guys who do a lot of open guard.
Or, yeah, like
open
De La
guard, you could,
Hiva.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like
hard,
wrapping your legs around
A lot of the
people
gi-
from
bro,
that
you know what it is?
position.
The gi is harder on your body, I think, than it's just hard on your body.
Absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely.
It is hard on your
'Cause
body. No
look-
gi, you're just flowing them more. That's why I kind of moved to no gi more.
Right.
My fingers are healed.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't
what I'm saying.
hurt
Like,
anymore.
we're not even. You said you didn't even want to count the fingers. I
Yeah,
mean,
we didn't even want to count the little
fingers just get
phalanges.
wrecked. They get wrecked in the gis.
Oh yeah,
but
you got the little nodules. Like we all got them. I
Yeah.
got them right here.
they're all jacked up.
You can look at
and
someone's
actually
hands, tell what they do
they
to
feel pretty good lately though. But I think we talked about this too. Is because we alternate back and forth. It's
Yeah,
one week
1 week on,
on,
1
1
week
week
off.
off. That helps a lot.
But do a good gi roll with somebody that's like they're trying to bring it and you're bringing it, and they got grips like super tight grips.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah.
your body's gonna feel like wrecked afterwards after that roll. It's gonna be tired.
Without a
Whereas if
doubt.
a no gi roll, even if I'm rolling with like Trevor, my body's not wrecked. I would say I just got submitted a million times, but I still feel okay.
Yeah.
You're not like it doesn't because they have a force against you. They have a grip. You're pulling here and they're pulling opposing force.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hard on the body.
Well, I think I always try to show people though, like when we do no-gi, how to grip and catch like a bone. Like
yeah.
I always kind of show like people like, all right, if you're gonna do that 2-on-1 control the wrist, and then you grab right at that elbow joint,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
you
yeah,
kind of
right
like
then.
you can kind of
Yeah,
lock
I didn't
into
talk
it.
about-
Yeah, that way you can get a good grip.
Yeah.
But you have to have strong fingers though.
That's true.
Because you are kind of digging your finger
do
in, and
deadlifts.
you got to do deadlifts. Do deadlifts. Hell yeah, you should be doing that shit anyway. Nah, I'm not even gonna say that because you know what? There's those little like nerd assassins who are out there killing it, man. They don't lift shit but a pencil.
You're right.
And but they'll choke the dog
Wrap
shit
you
out of
up.
you. Exactly. So I look, you do whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Do whatever works for you. But just keep doing it though, you know. So if you're injured, I don't know. Damn, if you're injured, be safe. You have to heal because you'll do yourself a disservice if you just say, fuck it, I'm going out, I don't care, injury be damned. How many people do we know, man? They're just walking around constantly in pain. It's like
It'll catch up to you, man, as you get older.
It does. It's like,
You don't get a free pass.
I should have like a seminar in the beginning where people come in and like, welcome to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like, this is the last day you'll ever wake up pain-free. I mean, that's pretty much where you're at.
But here's the counter to that. If let's say you don't do anything, you're gonna be in pain as some old guy
That's true.
because you don't do anything. You don't move. You're gonna be either way. As you get older, you're gonna be in pain. So just accept it. So I'd rather have the pain on my terms.
All right, so pain is coming.
pain is coming. I'd rather.
It's
still
like Clubber
fight and
Lang.
have
It's like
pain.
Clubber Lang. What's your what you think? What's your prognosis or what's your prediction? Pain. Hell yeah, it's coming. So
Because I think the difference is too, when you don't do anything, you're in pain all day from little aches and pains. Just getting out of bed, you're going to be in pain. If you're an old man or whatever.
Right.
But if you train and you work out, you're only going to be in pain after like for a short period of time, recovery. But then you're good.
also, I think you become desensitized to it. That's the other
That's a good
thing.
point. You're right.
Things that would
right.
put you on your ass when you first start, you'll just say, just put some tape on that shit. And,
Yeah.
you'll go right back in. You're like,
Band-Aid.
yeah, exactly. It's like,
that
what? Oh, I got a head wound? Just fucking wrap it up.
What was
I'm
that from
good.
Predator? Remember he had a
Yeah,
chest
yeah.
is blown out. Give me a Band-Aid.
Yeah, right? He's like, I ain't got time to bleed. So you're bleeding. Nah. So, yeah, I mean, hell, I guess you're going to get tough regardless. You're going to get tough with your injuries. And I said this in a past one, right? I was like, hey, chicks dig scars.
There you go.
And I guess lips too, right? If you're walking around, get yourself a cool ass cane, get a hat to match, some platform shoes. What are you talking about? If you're gonna limp anyway, you might as well get a cane. If you get the cane, you might as well get the hat. And if you get the hat, you might as well get the platform shoes. And the platform shoes, get that fur coat and shit. Boy,
Man, I've seen some guys just wrecking. I remember there's this one grappler. It's one of Gustavo's buddies he knows. Older guy.
Ooh.
Came in. I want to say he came in. Oh yeah, with a cane, limping, really like he could barely walk. Right? He's like, no, I'm good. Just get me on the mats. I'll be okay. He got on the mats. It's like, who's this guy? He's totally the person. He was good.
right?
Like,
It's
my
like
God.
flip a switch,
Flip
boom.
a switch. Got off the mats. He's back to limping again. It was hilarious, but he was actually really good.
See, that goes back to freaking.
But see, I don't want to be like that.
I don't want to be like that either.
I want to walk normal, man. I don't want to, be relying on a walker or a cane or any of that stuff.
Yeah,
You gotta take
I
care
don't
of your
want
body.
that
You
either.
got one temple. You got to take care of it, preserve it.
That's true.
I mean, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, but some people, they burn the candle at both ends, man. They're like, they'd rather, go out in the freaking blaze of glory, and they're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna throw caution to the wind.
Yeah. See, that's the one benefit, in my opinion, of starting when you're older. Is that you have more of a healthy respect for your body and because you're closer to that time. Like, oh man, okay, things are changing. I gotta chill a little bit.
Hell
you're
yeah.
closer. When you're 20, you're invincible. Man.
Right? You're like, man, break it.
Come on, man.
I don't care. Or like the old shit. Where it's like, break it, Frenchie.
Oh yeah, let's do anything, man. I remember coming home. Me and my buddies went out one night. I was probably like 25. We went out partying to the clubs.
Hell yeah.
And we were working in the health club industry at that time. Let's go see who can curl the most, right? So my buddy, this big Iranian dude, he was like, "Oh, jacked, he's strong." I'm like, "Oh, I got you, man. Let's go."
Right.
Bro, I was curling like two.
Hell damn yeah.
2 plates, like I barely did it. I almost blew my back out. But I'm like, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah, man. Because
But you're invincible. At
yeah, I'll say
25.
it's amazing what
Bro,
you can do when
the
you're
human body
young.
is freaking amazing at that
Yeah,
age.
man,
If I tried that now, I wouldn't even be able to. It wouldn't even be close to being able to do that.
I don't know. I think you're
But
selling
I'll rack
yourself
it, dude.
short.
2 plates on each side, dude. Curl with a long bar. That's crazy.
Hell yeah. You could probably still do that shit.
Nah, I don't think I can do that.
Nah.
No way.
I'm gonna bet you.
I'm
bet
not
you.
even trying.
I think you'll
Now,
be able to
you know
do
what
it
happened? Here's
by
the
the
funny
end of
thing.
next year.
You could probably do it, but it would tear a bicep or something now.
You got
That's
2
how
of
as you
them.
get older.
Yeah.
The body's just not as tough. Like when I hurt my elbow again, it was healed. I just rolled up really hard. Wham, went on it. I didn't do anything wrong. My technique was fine. I just came up. Oh man, my elbow. Rolling with Rex.
See, you should have got a fucking beer. That would have loosened you up first.
Doesn't matter. It's still the impact. Still did it. That's the thing you got to watch for when you're just not, your durability goes down as you age. That's what happens. And I didn't really notice that till, I want to say, like, for all the older grapplers out there, mid-50s is you're going to feel that. Mid-50s. Even 40s, you're still good. Even 50, you're still good. For me, like 55, I started noticing, oh, man, okay. This actually injured me where before it wouldn't, I would have shaken that off.
Gotcha.
It wouldn't injure me anymore.
Right.
So now what changes, like, okay, I'm going to be more careful now. What do I do? How does that manifest itself on the mats?
It
Maybe I shouldn't roll this guy.
slow down a little bit.
I'm transitioning into that. I'm becoming that guy, man.
You're becoming that guy. It's okay, man. You're supposed to.
It's part of life, man. It's the circle of life.
The fact that you've been around long enough to become that guy is something to be said about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're not supposed to be invincible forever,
Exactly.
man. It's like
There's no ROI.
We're here for a set fucking amount of time.
Exactly.
And what you do with it, you know, you'll be proud of that shit. Yeah. So yeah, like don't necessarily go out in a blaze of glory. Fucking be old, and be able to tell some stories and shit, man. Yeah. I like telling stories. I like hearing stories. So I was going to ask you though. So was it anybody's fault, that fucking injury, or you just think it was just a freak accident?
I mean, at the end of the day, that with the elbow one,
yeah,
I think that was an accident. Yeah. And you know, it's tough because you're right. I'd say 90% are going to be. I have to eat it and say it's my. Even the knee injuries.
Yeah.
Every knee injury at the end of the day, it was my fault. I had a weird one where I was in 50-50 with a guy. He's a really high level. He was a brown belt.
Right.
And 50-50, I want to go to this side. He wants to go to that side.
Dig it.
So I was trying to go to this side, and my knee just popped. I'm like, why did my knee pop? That's crazy. I didn't do anything wrong. It was like. It was just the force of it. It just not as durable.
I feel
and it
you.
wasn't bad. It was a little one pop. So one pop, I was out for like 3 weeks. I was back on it. But
damn,
this sometimes it's an accident. But I would say technically that was still my fault though, the knee, because I should have had maybe not tried to force it to go to that side as much. But just coming up and landing on my elbow is just a scramble.
Yeah, it's just scramble.
It happened.
Yeah, see those. Yeah, I mean you don't feel quite as bad if it's just some weird freak accident.
Yeah,
you're like, all right. But then when it's your fault and you got to look at it and be like, yo, it's like I just fucked myself for like weeks, maybe months over my ego.
Exactly.
My ego got in the way, which is why I keep saying check your ego at the door, because your ego will get you fucking hurt.
My buddy used to always say your ego is expensive.
Facts.
Ego is very expensive.
It's very expensive. I mean, look, whether it be time or money, it's going to cost you something. Yep. So... yeah, so check yourself before you wreck yourself.
So what's the moral, man? Don't get injured.
Don't get injured. Shit, that's always the moral. Don't get injured.
But you're going to get injured.
But you're going to get injured.
Deal with it.
But just be safe. Like, be smart about it. And I guess really the fucked up part about this, there's going to be plenty of white belts and blue belts who listen to the cast, and they're going to hear this. They're going to process it. They're going to understand it. But they're not going to follow it because it's too exciting, man. You're doing your damn thing, and you're like, I'm the king of the world. You're up there like fucking Titanic, and you're just doing whatever you want.
Because there's no consequences when you're 25.
Yeah,
you're just heal up. It's not that big of a deal. So, and I wouldn't too. If I healed up pretty quickly, I probably would. There's consequences isn't bad enough. I'm going to take the risk.
Right. Yeah. So just shit. Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful, but don't be scared. Don't be timid.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Don't be timid. Don't do that shit. Be a fucking lion.
And actually, you know what? That's
thing.
actually a really good point, because I don't want to drag on too long. But that's one of the reasons why I'm taking some time off, because I don't think it's fair to necessarily go in there and say, oh, I have to roll with this. Let's go so light. Like, if I have to go that light, then just don't go in. I'm going to heal up. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to bring it. That's the way I see it.
I feel you on that. That's respectable. That's respect. Right. One of the worst things to hear right before you start rolling is, hey, watch out for this and watch out for that and watch out for this. Oh, no, this hurts and this hurts and this hurts. Don't do any move. don't do any move that might actually submit me, because I'm just fucking wrecked. Yeah. And they slap hands and they go and they fucking try everything that they said you can't do to them, they try to do to you.
Exactly.
And that's where, if you've chosen to do it, if you've chosen to roll with these people who are hurt, and you can, I respect you. You're still trying to get out here and do it. Well, check your ego and go, hey, you know what? They're still trying to do it, but they've told me that I can't do any of these things to them. Just don't do any of those things to them. And if you catch a L, all right, just check your ego at the door. Don't worry about it. It's not that serious. You obviously weren't on your A game, because if you were, you'd be attacking every single thing that they're asking you not to attack. So don't take it personally. Don't think, oh, I suck now because I couldn't get him in a freaking a toe hold, which is the only thing that I was allowed to touch. So. Yeah, and that's the only thing he defended.
Yeah.
He didn't defend any of the other shit because I already said I wasn't going to attack it. So all he had to do was defend the one thing he was allowing me to attack. And now this is also me not saying that people who are injured shouldn't let people know. Because if you don't let somebody know that you're injured, you're freaking stupid. Like if you get out there and you don't go, oh, by the way, my elbow is wrecked. Please don't break it even more, right?
Yeah.
If you decide to get out there and then you start rolling, because you're like, oh, they'll roll. Nobody says anything. And then my natural inclination, I go for what I go for.
Pressure.
And he's like, oh, my God. It's like, well, what's wrong with you? Oh, I forgot to tell you. I'm like, now you got me feeling bad, like I hurt you and shit, but that was your fucking fault.
Yeah.
Anyway. Get out there and train, damn it. And if you freaking are going to train, do it, but be smart. Like if you're injured, let people know, but then also don't try to be a damn tap collector once you freaking ask them not to go after certain things.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah. So we
shit,
can go on, but
dude.
I think we're good.
Yeah, we can go on forever. I can just run the gauntlet about how many fucking things are fucked up about me. But I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Instead, we're just going to say, thank you for watching us. We appreciate you. Get out there and train, because if it's important to you, you'll find a way. If it's not, you'll find an excuse. We hope to see you all on the mats. And yeah.
I think that's it.
That is it. God bless you. Good night or good morning or whenever the hell you're watching it. Peace. Us.